This is the Riots podcast on National Radio Day.
So you're like, wait, podcast. You might not realize the Riot podcast is the Riot on RadioU. And RadioU, of course, is celebrating National Radio Day today.
So thank you so much for all of you taking some time to spend some time with us today. You can celebrate Radio Day with us easily. Couple of things you can do. Grab some RadioU merch, wear it, take a picture, post it, tweet it, whatever it, and then tag us in it.
Use the hashtag RadioU. You can follow us at RadioU on Facebook and Twitter. And then Instagram is RadioU Official. If you would like to post it there, we'll see it. And it's just great to hear from everybody.
You can also send us an email, riot@radiou.com, or call us, 877-2RadioU. Now, we may not be in the studio at that time, but you could still tell the DJ what it is that you love about RadioU.
Yeah, or you could text it in too.
Yeah, so we would love to hear from you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy the podcast.
I feel like we need to give them a quiz on everything we just said.
There's a lot.
It's like, all right, what's our Facebook page? Go.
Things you'll find in today's podcast: Sharknado, Jack Ryan, narwhals for good behavior.
If you've had a good week.
Yellow, old people, National Radio Day, a little bit more, pecan pies.
Chocolate pecan pies.
Biting off thumbs, professional cuddling, and I think one of our best money-making schemes ever, quite frankly.
You're going to love it.
So you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Again, thank you so much for being a part of the Riot family. You guys are appreciated.
We will give you a hug through the podcast, not a cuddle. Not in a weird one.
Just a perfectly
great,
acceptable,
here's a normal hug.
Everybody feels good about it kind of hug.
Exactly.
It is the Riot.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
It's a phenomenon that I have seen.
Dun, 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 dun. Phenomenon. Don't know why. It's not the word they use in the song, but it just had that tone. Phenomenon.
I'm so okay.
Yes.
But I don't understand it. And Nikki, I would like you and I now, while we are young, to make a decision about how things are going to be when we're old.
Yeah.
What is it with old people getting mean?
Mean and nasty.
What is that?
Nasty.
Yeah, like what is that about?
Nasty.
I mean, I was in an event yesterday with the RadioU DJ service.
By the way, yay for you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And like, I am amazed at, like at a certain age, you're kind of like, hey, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be whatever. And to me, that's a universal standard to appeal to. I should be kind and try to live at peace with the people around me, whether I'm 3, 30, or 63, or like however old is. I don't know. But I'm amazed at how many people, like they hit a certain age, and I don't know what age it is. Is it 45? Is it 55? Is it 62? Whatever it is. But it is just like, I am tired of being nice to people. I hate the world, and I hate you, and I'm here to tell you.
And I don't need to have a filter on anymore.
I don't get it.
It's something.
I don't get it. And I encountered some people like that yesterday where
old and mean.
Old and mean. Like just old and mean. So I guess what I'm shooting for is old. Just getting old. How about old and polite?
No, you could be nice, and it just seems like I didn't tell you what happened yesterday with my old person. I was in parking spots, like parallel parking or whatever, and I was there. And so he backs up and he goes into the spot in front and goes to back up into my car. Into my car.
He hit you?
He hit my car.
Oh, man.
And he comes out of the car, and he is old and obviously not caring anymore. And he's like, it's okay. It's all right. You're fine. Your car's fine. Like, he gets all mean and nasty to try to, like, back me off, because he's old and mean. And I was so mad at this guy. I was like, why are you just so nasty, you old man?
I love the idea that...
to diffuse me, like, he's like, your car's fine. He doesn't even say sorry or anything. I was like, you're the one who couldn't back up and backed up into my car.
Oh, my gosh.
So it seems like this was the weekend of the old and mean and nasty.
Obviously getting old is inevitable. We'll all age. That's the way it works. That's the system. But I would just like to think that as I get older, I understand that you probably get older. And I've talked to, I can remember people telling me, some great aunts and uncles I had, that you hit a point where you just stop caring. And I get that. I get it. But that doesn't, not caring is not a good excuse for bad behavior.
For being mean. Well, they always say, too, at what point do they become they go young again, like a baby or a toddler or something, where you're just screaming in public and not caring?
I don't know. But, you know what? I'm not nice to people because I feel like being nice. I'm nice because I feel like I'm supposed to be.
To be nice, like any other person.
I mean, if you want to take it all the way back, I feel like God expects a certain level of behavior. That I'm supposed to love people. And that does not get shut off when I hit 65.
But for some reason yesterday it did.
Woo!
Well,
Man, it was
sorry
something.
about that.
No, it was fine. But it was just one of those things where I had several people talk to me and they walked off and I thought, man, at what point was that supposed to be okay for them to be that way?
And does the rest of the family see it? Do they know?
Wow.
Aww.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Hey, let's have a good week.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on Radio U.
Hey, did you realize that, and I don't know how we did, but I feel like there was not as much of a fuss about it, but there was a new Sharknado last night.
Yeah. I mean, we saw some of the press stuff going into the weekend, but
I forgot about it.
Was that the last one? And is that what number is that one?
6. It was Sharknado 6. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right. The 6th one.
Well, I mean...
Or was it 5?
It's there.
It was 6, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Here's the thing I don't understand. I thought that was Sharknado, and they were like, hey, it's the last Sharknado. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, too.
So they said that it was the last Sharknado, it's about time. And that was the one that was on last night. Yeah. The reviews for the Sharknado stuff is usually wow, it's crazy, it's so funny. This one, I just feel like everybody, at least in what I'm reading, they're like, all right, joke's over.
Just stop doing it.
Joke's over.
I always figured they paid a lot for the other, it's so sharky, it's great, that they paid for that.
It's amazing to think that they made 6 of those, and people were into it.
It's TV movies, though. You can do as much as you want.
Yep. So, but they say that's it. They say this is the last one. That was the end of the Sharknadoes.
Until the prequel. Where'd the NATO come from?
See, I think you're absolutely right. I think you give it 2 years and Sharknado's back.
There'll be something else with it. They just need to take a little break.
But remember, 2 years in TV movie time is like 100 years in other time. So it's totally
It'll
fine.
be the son or the daughter of one of the characters. Mm-hmm. And then that's how they bring it back.
And then they'll say oh yeah, none of the original cast will be in it. But then at the end.
At the end, someone pops up.
Someone shows up. And then, of course, that sets up for the prequel sequel. Fine. Perfect. Whatever. So Sharknado happened last night. You should tell us what you thought of it if you watched it.
If you did not, you don't need to.
Well, you can just let us know, because the thing is, now that I've got, DirecTV Now, I could probably catch it on demand when I go home today. So should I?
You don't need to.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, how do you feel about yellow?
Yeah, I love yellow.
You're
I
perfect.
love the color yellow. So cheery and just wonderful.
This may mean nothing at all, but they say that millennials love yellow.
Yay!
Yellow's the color.
It's so cheerful and just perfect.
Mm-hmm. A lively shade of lemon, it says here. And then it's got a big, list of photos that are all celebrities wearing yellow, saying, look, yellow is so wonderful.
So they're giving it the buzz color right now. It's kind of the it one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's total buzz color. So if you want a buzz color today,
find a yellow wall and
find
just
some yellow.
Take some pictures.
Did you ever get your yellow kitchen?
I had a yellow kitchen in my last place.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I couldn't
I'm not. I didn't do that in this kitchen.
No? Like, do you feel like you found the next color?
I have a gray kitchen.
Yeah.
So
Well, gray is very in right now.
It is very, very in. And I just have less like wall space that isn't covered by like tile and stuff. So the yellow just wouldn't work wall space wise.
Just
But
not
I
feeling it.
love yellow.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Nikki? You're right on track.
Yay! I should send this to my dad. He was always like, "Why do you have a yellow kitchen?"
Yep.
It's like, well, you're not in on this loop.
I don't know. Anytime I've talked to your dad about any color that is not like a, what are they?
A beige.
Like eggshell?
Yeah, something like that.
He's just like, what's the point in that?
Well, I did learn that. I think he was disappointed in my color choice, but I like yellow.
Well, you know what? I don't know about you guys, but disappointing my parents is one of the things that gets me up in the morning.
Happy to help do that every so often. It helps liven things up. I always thought it'd be great to have like a yellow house, but that is a bit, that's a bold
a little bit
choice.
much.
That is a bold choice. I don't know about that.
So, you know what? Everybody, it sounds like disappointing your parents and wearing yellow. That's what we do.
Oh, we need a RadioU shirt that's yellow.
We had one.
We did.
We had a yellow Apollo.
We did. Yeah, the astronaut one.
I actually wear it all the time because when I go running in the morning, I only have a couple of bright colored shirts.
Yeah. So it helps me reflective.
And so you're just almost all my shirts are black.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, do I have any shirts that aren't black? And I have some red and yellow RadioU shirts, and I wear those in the morning when I run a lot.
Yeah.
Because colors.
Well, good.
That's something, right?
We're here to help keep you safe.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Man, talk about one of the weirdest ways to get injured. A guy was hiking in, was this in New Zealand? I think it was. It might have been, no, this was in Ireland. Okay. He was hiking and he got injured by a falling sheep.
Did he? Well, what did it do? From a cliff?
He was hiking along some cliffs, and there was a sheep at the top of a cliff, and the sheep fell off the cliff and fell onto him.
I would think that no one would believe me unless in that area it is believable. Like, oh, yes, of course, the sheep fell on you.
They had to call in their emergency rescue team or whatever, and apparently it took 17 people to get him, to treat him and bring him off the mountain.
Side of the cliff. So what happened to the sheep?
You know what? That's a really good question.
No one cares, do they?
And
no
I will tell
one cares
you
about that part.
that I cannot find any details as of right now as to what happened to the sheep.
Did he just keep falling? Did he stop? Is he himself hurt?
I don't know. I don't have the answer on the sheep. I just know that a lot of people, a lot of people are involved.
Just highlighting the fact that it took so many people to get the guy off the side of the mountain cliff.
I would like to see the sign that results from that. Like the look out for falling sheep sign.
Yeah.
Somebody show me what the safety sign is that you now have to post on this path so that people know, like, hey, listen, sheep be falling down all the time, okay? So you got to make sure you keep your eyes up.
Well, forward too. You just up and forward, up and forward.
Listen, okay? Sometimes you hear them before you see them.
That'd be like if, the equivalent of, say, you ran into a deer or something.
Yeah, it's just something that, it's like, yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens.
But instead, this giant creature just fell on you.
I mean, sure, of course you.
Oh, but he'd be soft, wouldn't he?
Like for less than half a second.
And then hard, yeah.
Yeah, it means for the briefest time, you would be like, I'm itching.
Just give him a hug. A big sheep hug, and then you'd fall asleep because you've been counting them.
In the sheep community, they're probably right now reporting like, once again, a human failed to catch us in our annual sheep jumping.
Because, we thought they were counting all of our jumps, and they just left us hanging there.
Mm-hmm. We looked down. Everything appeared to be completely fine, whatever. And they also refused treatment.
And they, once again, do not tell us about us in the story.
I would have liked to have heard some interviews with some sheep at the top of the mountain and discussed with them, like, what they saw happen. Like, I don't know, he seems so happy.
Well, then, if you drive through certain states that have the sides where rocks tend to come down, how sometimes they put the nets up
Yeah.
And then you just drive by and a
Sheep
poor
net.
little sheep is caught in it and caught in the net.
I don't know. Maybe he had it coming. Maybe he crossed the wrong people.
Oh, now we just took a turn.
What?
Did we feel it? It was a mean turn.
The sheep mafia, you don't mess with them, Nikki. All of a sudden, you end up hitting people. And every once in a while, innocent bystanders get hurt.
But it's just it's a sheep thing.
It's rough up there.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
After this weekend, I'm ready to just swear off people, which is not the same as swearing at people.
It's different.
That's what people did to me. I am not wanting to do that back to them. I'm choosing to take the high road, which is, I think, actually maybe just hiding out, avoiding people altogether.
Well, you feel like you don't know when and where it's going to come from when someone just loses it, and you're the closest one, and you bear it.
Mm-hmm. So here's where I'm at. I have been trying to sell. I've got an NVIDIA Shield, which I decided, hey, I'm going to sell that because I'm not using it really.
So that's a set-top box.
It's a set-top box, but it's one of the very expensive ones. So like retail, it's between $180 and $200. So I've been selling it cheaper than that. And that's not the part that you care about because you don't, I get that.
Where's the swearing?
The amount of harassment that I put up with over the weekend from Craigslist and Facebook is enough for me to never want to sell anything ever again.
So people are just trying to lowball you or...
Combination of lowballing
trolling?
And then when you don't accept their absurdly lowball offer, the responses that they send back to you. Like, I don't know how many times I said, hey, thank you very much, but, I'm willing to accept this much.
Yeah.
And then
Which is, by the way, a respectful way to what it's called negotiate.
Right.
That's very common.
It is. And then the responses were just
so mean.
Harsh. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you'll never get that much. When you're ready to actually deal, feel free to get back to me.
I do not understand when someone tries to bully you into going with them for their price. Like, that's going to work.
Well, I just came to the conclusion. I was like, what? I'd rather just keep it. I would rather see it gathering dust on the shelf
Then sell it to you.
than be spoken to in this manner.
Why don't you just write that out as like a response, and then you have that as a form response to send back anytime someone does that to you?
It's not a bad idea, but it was just one of those things where I was like, I'll just go over here and take this down. Just take it down.
Did you?
No, not yet. I mean, I would technically still like to sell it, but I guess when I say I would like to sell it, what I'm actually saying to you is I would like to be verbally abused. I would like to open myself up.
You know how sometimes you get the fake before the real? Those were all fake people just getting you to lose your path and take it off. And now you're staying strong. And this is the real coming this week.
I love that you said it that way.
Yeah.
These were just the fake people. They were the
all of them.
They're the counterfeit blessings.
They are before the real buyer comes along and showers you with the appropriate amount of money.
Oh, man.
And they get the item they were wanting. You'll never think it's going to come. And then finally one day it does.
I love it so much.
And then you look back and you're like, well, that wasn't bad at all.
You know what? It was fun. I could go back. I could sell things.
I can sell this fine.
I can do this. It's not a big deal.
I am surprised. Facebook Marketplace, when it first started, I actually really liked because
I agree.
I thought it got rid of the abuse that can be around with it. And I don't know if it's because the page was attached, like you could see their profile. It was a little bit more personable compared to Craigslist, which can just be nasty. But now Facebook Marketplace is just as bad.
You know what I think it might be? I got to be careful about what I call out because, you get involved in a community, and I feel like there are just the normal people, which I would say would be us. Like, we're not really
we're selling something.
Right. It's like, I have something to sell. I just want to sell it. But then there are those people that, they're the hardcore buyers and sellers, and they're like the stock market brokers of the online sale community. They're there to buy low and sell high. And so once those people, it's almost like there's a hotness. Like Craigslist is hot for a while, eBay's hot for a while, Facebook Marketplace is hot for a while, and it gets hot with normal people, and then those people move in.
They move on in.
And once they move in, the normal people that are just there, garage sailing, trying to do their whatever, they encounter those people, and you're like, okay, where's the next thing?
Then it comes back to you will just rather keep it.
Yeah.
And not sell it for that amount.
Well, I will have to say this much. It made me do another take at it. I was like, I kind of wanted to sell it and do this, but this thing's pretty good. I like it.
Keep it.
Maybe I'll just keep it.
If not, then you're like, well, I'd rather donate it to.
Hey.
Anything to keep you, sir, from having it.
Admittedly, I'm not ready to donate it yet, but I have definitely done that. I had an iPad. I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm donating it. Someone will get some great use out of it. And you sharks, you vicious wolves, will not get a chance to talk down to me for trying to sell it.
If you're looking for a peaceful start to your morning, you should look somewhere else. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Don't forget that National Radio Day is now. So if you have not yet, you should put on your Radio U.
Excuse me. I had to sneeze. I don't know what it was. It's still there, too. It was only half a sneeze. Just half a sneeze. Hey, we all sneeze.
No, it's not that. It caught you so by surprise. I saw it because you were just sitting there, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it was like, it looked like something hit you. Literally. It was just like your head whipped to the side and you sneezed.
Woo! We're good. We're good.
I love it. Okay.
Back to Radio Day.
National Radio Day.
It is.
So what you want to do is sneeze with Nikki and
only the most professionals do it.
Put on your Radio U gear. So whether you're going to wear a Radio U shirt, you've got a Radio U hat, the beanie, you're holding the journal, whatever it is that you have, put the bumper sticker on your head and support Radio U today and take a picture of it. Post it, tag us in it. You can also use the hashtag National Radio Day if you want to.
But if easier, just use the hashtag RadioU. I posted it on Radio U Official on Instagram, so follow us there. Radio U on Twitter and Facebook, too.
And, if you don't yet, now would be a great time to go around and follow us. If you're not yet following us on Facebook or Instagram or liked our YouTube channel, that would be another great way to show a little love for Radio U today. And then, of course, if you got the time and you're willing, text or call. We'd really like to actually hear from you at 877-2-RADIO-U. Tell us what you love about Radio U, and that would be a great way to celebrate. We also found out it's National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day, so
is it a coincidence? I don't know.
I'm going to keep throwing it in there because if somebody wanted to bring one of those
pecan
pies.
Pie right now. On a Monday, that feels like there's some shame attached to day pie eating, and we're not sure if we should or not.
I'll just tell you right now, I'm slowly over time turning into my grandma because I think a piece of pie and a cup of coffee sounds pretty good.
Super old.
Get off my lawn!
That's amazing. Wow, you're a changed man, aren't you?
You know what? And here's what happens.
Piece of pie and coffee.
Drinking black coffee, eating pie.
You're just really, that is something.
Getting really
mad. Can't you even just put the pie in the coffee? That'd be really good.
You know what? Here's what I think, actually, while we're on the subject. I think if you see different people, I feel like you run into people that at a certain age, it's like this is their prime. And it's not like, they were at their prime in their 20s or whatever. I feel like my prime has not hit yet. I'm going to be a spectacular grumpy old man because if you really look at this show, what do? Complain a lot.
You get it all out here.
I know. So I'm going to be an old man drinking black coffee, talking to himself on the porch. And people will be like, it's like he was born for this.
Why doesn't he do a show? It's like, you didn't hear about him? That's old man Obi.
Yeah. Once they took his show away, now he just sits here and he's just angry at everything.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's like that Simpsons meme where it's like old man screams at cloud. Mm-hmm. That'll be me.
That's going to be your time.
That is going to be my prime right there. Jeff says, look at this. He just texted and he says, I had coffee and lemonade pie for breakfast.
What's lemonade pie?
I don't want it. I don't like lemons.
That sounds good.
Nikki will take your lemonade pie. I need that chocolate pecan.
If it was like a lemon bar...
Yeah.
Over here.
I see that. I see that
Over
hand.
here.
I see that
I
hand.
love lemon bars.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I didn't think I was really that interested. I was like, whatever. But I had
The passion that I'm seeing from you concerning it would say something different.
I had a real visceral reaction in a way that I didn't expect to. So Jack Ryan, that is the new show starting on Amazon next Thursday. So it's August 31st. It posts leading into Labor Day weekend, which that's a great choice, guys. Thank you.
Good going.
I do appreciate that.
So wait, will it be on the 31st, which is next Friday? Or what they do is for the coast, it'll be on Thursday evening?
Well, the only thing I know is that it says Thursday, August 31st.
Okay.
And we thought Friday is September 1st.
It is? I'm looking at it.
Wait a minute.
I was like, I'm looking at Friday
Okay.
31st.
Someone, I'm not going to say who, may have been looking at 2017.
Okay, just double checking. Yay!
Let me tell you what.
I was like, I don't know how you're seeing that.
Hello, National Radio Day. So,
Only
Nikki's
the
right.
best.
It is. It's Friday, August 31st.
But sometimes Amazon, like going from the Grand Tour, which was that car show that they
Mm-hmm.
pushed a bunch, they would always release it Thursday night because it was a worldwide release. So with different time zones, it would come out. And so it'd be technically Thursday night you could start watching it.
I don't know the answer to that.
But we'll see
wouldn't it
with
be
it.
great if that
Yeah.
was the case?
We'll see.
So it's going to be 8 episodes. It's based on Jack Ryan, the character from the Tom Clancy novels. And I am a huge fan of those novels, especially the early ones. As you get into some of the later novels, they're not so great.
So would that be Hunt for Red October?
It would be.
Is that one of them?
Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger.
Some of All Fears.
Some of All Fears, also a good one. And in reality, it was, let's see, Some of All Fears, and then you got into Debt of Honor, which I thought was still pretty good, and then Executive Orders. Again, these are all book titles from Jack Ryan, John Clancy.
Okay, but it's not Jack. Is that Jack Reacher or what's
Jack Reacher's another character.
Another thing. That's the Tom Cruise one.
Yes.
Okay. It's
So-
too much. Can't we just branch out with names?
No, you can't. Hey,
They're hoping I'd get confused and I'll still watch them all.
it's like, whatever, I'll watch it. Well, this would be John Krasinski from The Office, and he stars
And the Quiet movie thing.
Yes, he stars as Jack Ryan for this. Now, it's already been picked up for a second season. It hasn't hit Amazon yet, but today reviews are out. Now, the first review I saw was a pretty negative one.
But then...
And that came from CNET. So I decided to Google it, and the rest of the reviews are like, man, this is awesome.
Sure.
In fact... let's see. I've never even heard of this website. Somebody called Joe. They say the new Jack Ryan might be the best action TV series ever.
Sometimes what happens, though, if it's a high-profile show they've been promoting for quite some time, they come out with maybe a more negative look at it to try to get more eyeballs with the review than if you're just in the pack of, oh, it's pretty good or it's fine.
Right, because if you're the negative review, you're more likely to get read than the positive one.
You noticed that one, yeah.
So Forbes, everybody reads Forbes. They posted a review today. They say it's the spectacular anti-Homeland we really need. So, sorry, Homeland.
A lot of people liked Homeland.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 seasons of Homeland, and it was season 4 or 5. They hit a point where I was just like, all right, that's enough. Like that, it's enough. Like it was crazy before. Now you guys have just
it's too much.
You've driven straight off the cliff. Like I'm just done.
Well, we will see for next week. So technically, next Friday, Jack Ryan will finally be out.
Dude, like I said, I didn't think I was interested, and I suddenly got super pumped about it as soon as I started seeing reviews.
It'd be nice to have an actual show.
A good one.
8 episodes
What if it was
is perfect.
good?
I don't need more than that right now, just that. But they haven't said, though, are they going to do all 8, or is it a week-by-week thing?
I don't know the answer to that either. The other thing I'll have to say is, and I'm just going to throw this out here, could it be a show that's like a premium, like cable drama that's not like, weirdly enough, Jack Ryan spends the entire first episode naked? Like, wouldn't it be great if it was not that?
I don't see that being this I think you're going to be safe.
I hope not.
I hope so.
You're listening to the worst of the Riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
I got a little narwhal yesterday.
Yeah, how come you didn't bring him?
Well, I guess I could have. I was afraid he'd be mocked, and I don't know why.
What?
It's a safe space in here, but just in case.
I didn't know. I just want you to know that I didn't know that are narwhals real?
They're real, yeah.
I didn't know they were real.
It's a thing from
well,
Elf.
it's from Elf, yeah. But I didn't think they were
Hey,
real.
buddy. Yeah, it is.
Hey, he comes out, hey, buddy,
Hey,
I hope
buddy.
you find your dad.
I think it is a real creature.
Yeah, I didn't think. Are we sure they're real?
They're
I mean,
real.
There are photos.
No, they
there
are
are
real.
photos here, but like it just feels like the unicorn of the sea in a way that is
Like a big lie.
like not made up or like is made up.
No, it's real. It's a medium-sized toothed whale that has a large tusk from a protruding canine tooth.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
All right.
I went to a bear building location yesterday, and I saw
An assembly line bear?
it was manufactured, and I saw the narwhal whale, and I was like, I really wanted him, so my mom got him for me. I said, that's so bad. It's so bad. But isn't that so like our moms?
Nikki's Instagram post was, and I quote, I had a good week, so my mom got me a narwhal.
Cupcake smelling thing in it, so it smells like cupcakes. My dog was like, what is this thing?
I will eat this.
I was going to eat this before, but now I'm really going to eat this.
Now I have to have
Yeah,
it.
it was really cute. I really like it.
Did you put it up on a high shelf so your dog
I
didn't eat
did,
it?
so when I'm gone, he can't get them.
You're going to come home to a house that is torn to shreds because
Trying to find-
your dog has built something and gotten the narwhal down and has eaten it.
I know it's here somewhere. I will find it, and I will destroy it today.
And then you'll go home and feel like, oh, you know what? That's really my fault.
Well, he feels threatened from the new narwhal stuffed animal.
I'm sure that he does.
Yeah, so I didn't think to bring it in today.
Well, you know what? I'm a little disappointed.
You are?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd get a chance to snuggle with him a little bit because I didn't have a good week, so I didn't get a narwhal.
Try again. Hey, you know what today is?
The first day
New
of
day.
the rest of my life.
New day. This is a new week. And
This
if
is
you
my
try
chance to earn a narwhal.
you could earn a stuffed animal by the end of the week if you have a good week.
I'm going to work hard,
That's
Nikki.
our new encouragement program here at Radio U.
Get
We're
a
not
stuffed
having
animal.
meetings anymore, but you get a stuffed animal by the end of the week if you have a good week.
You know, I do like the idea of us turning our negative culture into a positive culture.
Yes.
So, you know, instead of getting in trouble when you've done something wrong, you're going to get rewarded when you do something right. Mm-hmm. Then again, some of us might never get rewarded.
Well, then you'll just show, and it'll be
Then
embarrassing
you
because
get
it's like, where's your stuffed animals at?
You get a ribbon if you...
You participated?
Yes, you get a reward. Ribbon or reward? Man, it's going to be a shameful ribbon
Come on.
kind of week.
You're going to have a really good week.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
We actually started the show today talking about how old people can be so angry, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It just continues.
And where do old people hang out? Golf courses.
Yeah.
They do. That, I mean, if you've never golfed, let me tell you what, you need crazy pants and gray hair because that's what golfing is.
And then you got all the free time, so where do you go spend it?
You go hang out at the golf
and,
course.
Hang out at the movie theater or something,
Yes.
and they just do the golf course.
Yeah, and so this, oh my gosh, there was a fight at a golf course in Plymouth, Massachusetts on Friday, and it ended with one of the men having their thumb bit off.
Whoa!
At the knuckle.
Really?
Do you know that bit off means that you got to get through bone? That's what it means.
That's not it just snapped off. That's you got to bite through it.
Southers Marsh, is that how you say that? Or Southers Marsh Golf Club in Plymouth, Massachusetts. They got into a fight with another golfer, bit off his thumb.
Were they older, though, you said? Or
The victim, 47, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's not that old, but still, it was probably an old guy that bit it off. That's what I'm saying, an angry old man, because that's what I keep encountering, angry old men. And yesterday I ran into an angry old man. I think he would have bit my thumb off if I would have let him.
Hey, do you know that guy in Plymouth? Are you related?
Is that the guy? They took him to a local hospital, but they were not able to reattach
if
it.
you're fighting with someone and you're mad at them, I would verbally try to hurt them because I don't know about punching. Like I don't know if I could physically, but I feel like if I bit the person, if I said, okay, I'm really so mad at you, I'm going to bite your thumb off, that hurts me. That doesn't hurt. It does hurt the person I'm biting, but I bit someone's thumb off.
You know
That's
what? Hey,
emotionally
officer,
scarring to me.
Officer, you know what? I know it seems bad, but it hurt me way more than it hurt him.
It does. I have to think for the rest of my life that I bit someone's thumb off.
No, that's a badge of
live
honor.
with that.
You're just out there like, what do you...
You always go like that. You always just chomp your teeth at people.
Nikki, we can call you. That's how you get your nickname finally. We call Nikki Old Mad Dog.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's your new nickname, Old Mad Dog.
I couldn't do it. I that would stop me from ever being able to come after somebody like that.
The only thing, I mean, what are you, like wrestling around on the ground and you're just doing whatever you can to get out of the hold and
Maybe.
you bite somebody's thumb?
That's when you're supposed
that
to
makes
put,
some sense to me.
That's when you're supposed to put your thumbs in their eyes. But
well,
that's
maybe they
about
were
it.
trying to put their thumb in his eye and he was like, oh, I got this.
He bit his thumb off.
So,
well, it's all wrong. That's not how we act.
He bit his thumb off. But dude, I'm telling you, I will never forget. I used to golf a lot. Junior high, especially in junior high, because I was part of like some golf thing, whatever. I'm sure my parents...
A team?
My parents were like, well, he can't bounce a ball. He can't kick a ball. What if he swings this thing at a ball that's not moving?
They were hoping you'd do fine on it.
He can't hit a softball. He can't do T-ball. Look, son, it's on the ground. Swing this thing at the non-moving ball. And after that, they just gave up on me with sports.
And they handed you a controller.
They're like, here, use this. But I will never forget playing. And so, like, we would play. It was part of this golf league where we played once a week.
Yeah.
And you got to play 9 holes. But if you wanted to, they would let you go ahead and play. You could play all day if you wanted to. So my friend and I had played. But, I mean, we were like, 11, 12 years old? It took us a long time to golf a hole. And, man, this guy... Like, we were teeing up on whatever hole, and this guy came off the other green, red-faced, screaming at us. He accused us of walking onto the course and cutting in front of them, and I mean literally in my face screaming at me, talking about how he was going to beat my bottom. And all this stuff, how he was going to break my clubs in half.
A lot of times they've been sitting there drinking the whole course, though.
Well,
so they're riled up.
He was an angry golfer.
I think they have high blood pressure. I think that's it, too. And they just get real emotional. And then you're biting thumbs off.
If you got high blood pressure, you shouldn't be golfing. You should be doing something else.
Well, maybe the doctor said to
It'll be good for you.
It'll be good for your health, but you haven't lowered it up enough yet.
The medicine hasn't worked yet.
It hasn't started yet, so you're still mad.
Look, it's not safe to go anywhere. Build a basement, dig a hole, get in the hole.
Having a bad day? Blame the riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
Want to say hi to Lainey. Lainey is listening to Radio U and says, your show is awesome and I can't stop listening.
Please keep it up. Thank you so much, Lainey, for the text message. 8772 Radio U.
She says that narwhal impression was spot on.
See, earlier RIOT show when we talked about the fact that I got a narwhal. Not a real one, because... Hashtag
we don't have that big of a tank.
Keep them in the wild. But no, I got a little stuffed animal one.
Nikki would be happy to take a bear home, but narwhals should stay where they belong in the water.
It would not be right of me to do that.
Yeah. Though you have to, when you start saying things like, their kind should stay where they belong.
That does sound wrong.
Oh, so now we're limiting animals.
To where maybe he wants to come in.
So we're judging animals based on, how they look?
Well, what we feel like they would want to do.
Feel like they should do. Mm-hmm. And so now we got a lot of animals walking around and how or swimming around. See what I did right there?
How dare you?
See what I did right there?
You just can't win.
Do you want the narwhal to drag you to where it lives? It's hard, right? It's hard. It's hard. I get it. But
get an email. It's like, Dear Obadiah, I hate you from the narwhal.
I listen every morning in the North Atlantic.
And I can't believe you.
I cannot believe the things that you said about me and about my people.
Hashtag National Radio Day. You're the worst.
P.S. Here's a picture of me. Why don't you have a 12X shirt that I'm able to wear?
with the
Body
horn.
hashtag body shaming.
With the horn.
It's tough to be a narwhal, Nikki.
It is.
It's tough to be a narwhal.
Well, we didn't know how many we have listening, so I can't go ordering merch for sure until I have an amount back.
See, and there it goes. It's numbers. That's what makes it count. If there's enough narwhals, then yeah, we'll get some 12Xs, okay? But come on.
Dude, it'd be great if you're like a scientist up in the whatever where the narwhals are, and you're like, is that a shirt? Where did you get the shirt at?
Is that UPS?
Does that say RadioU?
Do they deliver here? You just see a big box just dropped in the ocean.
They're like, is that a university?
Must be. They're studying them too.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
Narwhals want to wear the shirt.
We've gotten off track in our little fantasy world where narwhals are listening and they're connecting with us and talking with us. So that's a bit off topic.
Okay, if you say so. It is National Radio Day, though.
Have antennas.
They do. They've got a big antenna. They're getting radio from all over the world.
They are.
And they're choosing us, Nikki.
Oh, that is so nice.
They choose us.
That is quite a compliment.
Antenna, and they listen through their teeth. Because that antenna is attached to their teeth.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I learned that from Wikipedia 5 minutes ago. So, yeah, National Radio Day. It's powerful, guys.
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
What do you think about being a professional cuddler?
Cuddler?
Yeah.
Well, as long as it's not in a weird way. But if it was, say, hey, we have this, let's use a bear again as an example, who has lost its mommy bear and needs someone to hold him for a while.
So
then
you're saying you'd cuddle animals.
I would, but they have the weird, like, human cuddle parties, and I don't know about that.
Well, I'm reading up on a lady right here who is saying that she's a professional cuddler, and it's $80 an hour.
It's something. And in other countries, this is actually more popular as well because there's like say in Japan, there's, I want to say this nicely. How do I say this nicely? Cuddling and hiring someone to spend time with you in a... I don't know how to say it, in a cuddle way. Just a cuddle way, cuddle only.
Cuddle only.
Just that way, because not everybody invests in relationships with people, but they still want to have some sort of physical contact with someone.
She's got an online diploma in cuddle therapy.
From where?
Man,
what school's sending that out? That doesn't sound real.
Stop. That right there is where the money is. We're talking about cuddle therapy at $80 an hour. But, Nikki, if you and I were really out there to make money, we need to set up just create an online school that is about cuddling and send people a certificate they can put on their wall.
Have a couple of classes.
Charge them thousands for it.
Professor Obadiah's in the building. It'd be great.
Then it's their problem to go out and find customers and clients.
Yeah.
And
that's worse.
Whatever the word is you want to use. But on our end, we just make a couple thousand at a pop. We spend $5 on what looks like a really nice diploma. Out the door it goes.
We could totally do that in Photoshop or something.
Oh, yeah. We pay a little extra to get a good logo.
Yeah.
And we bring in a graphic designer.
An embossed diploma.
We got to emboss it.
That's important. But as far as the human cuddling, I like my personal space, so I don't think so.
Let's see. It's such an amazing experience to hold people while they release what is sometimes years worth of negativity.
That's what fuels me, though.
Most have held in a tremendous amount of pain, often for a very long time.
Yeah.
And our session is really the first time they're able to let it go comfortably.
Well, maybe hers is legit. I just know that there's other non-legit ones.
Well, I mean, maybe it is legit, but maybe it's not.
I don't know. I don't know to
maybe
find out.
Maybe it's just something they say.
No, it's nice to give someone a hug if they need it.
Well, sure. I like a good hug. I mean, in proper context, et cetera, et cetera.
Within the hugging rules.
But would I pay someone $80 to hug me for an hour?
No, but I think if that was more like a therapist, and that was their mode of therapy.
He doesn't know how to say it. She's just lots of hand signals, lots of moving of the arms.
Sometimes we all need a hug, but I don't know.
All right.
I just don't know.
And then I just feel bad. It's like somebody needs a hug, and I'm like, sure, I'll hug you. for $80.
But then that's a cuddle. Is the cuddle the same as a hug?
You know, if there was an online university we could go to that would define these for us.
You could have the hug degree with it.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Here's a picture of me. Why don't you have a 12X shirt that I'm able to wear?